Hello there, Neil from writinghorses.com. Hope you're well. And what is going to be a fantastic Royal Ascot, and it looks like we're going to have fantastic weather across the majority of the country. So it's going to be a great few days. And today is Tuesday. It's Tuesday the 14th of June. Time is 9:50 a.m. And today I'm going to give you a few of my thoughts and ramblings concerning the meeting at Royal Ascot today. This is a recording going out onto YouTube. All members and non-members have access to this YouTube. So if you're not a member, as you can see, if you click onto our homepage, excuse me, at writinghorses.com, click onto the homepage and you'll have a pop-up come up which will give you free ratings every Sunday. Just fill in your details here and your email address, click on the tab below, and you will get free horse ratings each Sunday, and those will be sent to you in an email with an enclosed attachment on the Saturday evening. Okay, so the evening before racing, and that will give you a little bit of an indicator of what we do here at writinghorses.com. Okay, well, further ado, let's get into the spreadsheet and just make sure we got the right tab open there, and we'll scroll up to the top for Royal Ascot. And what I want to do quickly here is go through a couple of races, and hopefully we can find a little bit of value for you. And if you're new to writinghorses.com, this is just my personal preference, how I use the ratings. Okay, everybody's different, everybody's looking for different things, but this is just my way of how I personally use the ratings. Now, ideally, I like handicap races, and I don't know if there's scrolling through. Okay, well, the first one I'm going to I'll concentrate on the 6:10 at Ascot, and then what I'll do is I'll concentrate on maybe one of the smaller fields, although I know for a fact that's got a really short odds on selection, so shame there's not 8 runners, because we could have maybe looked for some each way there. But we'll go with the 6:10 at Ascot, and we'll see how we go. And I'll quickly rattle through these because I do want to get a couple of races in, but hopefully this will give you a little bit of an indicator on how I use the ratings on a personal note. So I'm just going to make a note of the Ascot 6:10. Now, what I do is I try and eliminate a number of horses, okay, and then I'll look through some data, and then finally I'll look to see if that horse is going to give us value, and if it is, then that could be a potential bet. Okay, so the 6:10 at Ascot, we can see that there's quite a number of clear draw bias data. So if these boxes here are highlighted, then that is a positive draw bias. So yellow gives you an indication that there is a draw bias, green is a strong draw bias, and if there's ever any red squares, then that would be a strong negative bias. Okay, so we can look at the ratings, we could see it's going to be a very, very open race, which you'd probably expect at Ascot, of course. Top rated style with 15, and then there's not an awful lot amongst any of them, to be completely honest. Ideally, I'd like to get rid of the bottom 4 or 5 straight away, and that is what I will do with this race. Looking at the power rating, none of these bottom 4 or 5 with a single digit figures are anywhere near top of our power rating, so I will straight away get rid of Quinel d'Or, Not So Sleepy, Get Shirty, Peter Pinter, and a Platinum Card. Now, I'm just doing this quickly today. Of course, you may want to delve a little bit deeper and not dismiss these straight away, but I just want to give you a quick run through of how I, in general, go through a race card using the data and trying to find some value. So we've dismissed those with the single digits, and we'll concentrate from Daniel Kodiak all the way up to Stell, and we'll see how we go. Now, we must say there's a couple of horses here that have got strong draw positive, so high as we can see, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19 all have strong draw bias. Okay, so that may well be key historically for races here at Ascot. I'm going to look at the OF, which is an algorithm unique to ratinghorses.com. We can see there's not some massive scores here at all. We can see there's joint top Cleveland with 8.63 and Raymond Tusk 8.63. What is interesting here is, of course, Raymond Tusk is one of the 5 that's got a strong draw bias. Third rated is one of the horses we've already dismissed, and then we've got Halenak again with a strong draw bias, and Red Verdon with a strong draw bias, joint 5th with Stahl, who's also got positive draw bias but not strong. If we look at the speed, we can see a couple of horses here that we've missed at the bottom. Joint 2nd is Raymond Tusk and Halenak, so they've coming out well on the IFS and speed. And 5th we got Cleveland, and 5th there is All Right Sunshine. We look at the power rating, we can see the top rated horse is Raymond Tusk with quite a decent score of 55 to be fair. And then we've got Stahl with 47. Third rated is Cleveland with 31, but there's quite a big drop there, isn't there? 31 to the second rated horse, power rating horse 47. So I'm going to start making a few notes of some horses. I will put Stahl in. I'm also going to put Red Verdon in. I'm going to dismiss Bandinelli at the moment because he's got a negative OFS, and that's always quite key and sticks out on my personal beliefs. Not saying that's going to, we may well add that to our short list of horses shortly, but not at the moment. I'm also going to make a note of Cleveland, and I'm also going to make a note of Halenak and Raymond Tusk. So I have got 5 against the field at the moment. I might add and take away a few of those as we go. I'm just going to concentrate here a little bit on the horses that have won at course and distance. We can see that Stahl has won at the course. Red Verdon has won at the distance. Cleveland nothing. Halenak nothing. On Raymond Tusk nothing. Okay, let's scroll on and let's see what we've got with the official ratings. So we can see that Stahl was off a mark of 104 3 runs ago, and it's still off that same mark. Fairly consistent, finishing 5th, 3rd or 4th. You could argue that this horse may well be in the grip of the handicapper and may need to be dropped down a few pounds to be given a chance, but we've got to be respected, of course, from a Gosden yard with Frankie Dettori on board. Bandinelli, which we haven't made a note of yet, has gone up in the weights from 85, so up 13 pounds in 6 runs. Was that enough to stop him last time out when it came nowhere? Previously 3 pounds less won, so maybe that was just a little bit of an off day, and that's something you may want to delve deeper into. Red Vernon has been dropped £3 from its last run, but has been 5th, 4th and 8th in its last 3 runs, so you know that is possibly a negative. We'll look at Cleveland, was off a mark of 95, is now up £8, but did win last time off £5 lower. Is that enough to stop him today? Maybe, maybe not. We're not much of the wise here. We can see obviously he's won off the mark of 98, £5 higher today. Not enough for me to dismiss him at this stake, I will say. Halenak, more information here, was off a mark of 108 and then went to 110. And then has slowly been drifting down the weights, 107, 106. and it is now £1 lower, 105. Now this horse has won off a mark of 102, so it's £3 higher than it's ever won off before. But there is little bits of form there, with a third off a mark of 107, so he's £2 lower for that run. And finally Raymond Tusk off 99 has reached 106 and is now off 105. But as you can see, with the first and second there, first off on mark of 104, second off a mark of 106, and then it was fifth last time off 106. It's £1 lower today. So I'm going to put make some more notes. I'm going to put a tick by Raymond Tusk. I'm going to put a question mark by Alanak. Cleveland, we don't know, question mark. Red Verdon has been dropped a few £3, but question mark. He still may well be in the grip of the handicap. And Stell, again a question mark there. Is there anything else I want to add? Well, I'll put Bandinelli. Make a note of Bandinelli. Is now £13 higher than 6 runs ago, off the same mark as last time when it come nowhere. 95. Question mark. Strong draw bias. Is there anything else? We haven't looked at Akita Sushi. Not much to go on. Let's have a look at Island Brave. We've of course got a poor draw, but it's £2 lower. Not fantastic form there, and I probably don't want to go much lower. We can see that Daniel Kodiak is obviously being given a chance by the handicapper. Was off a mark of 112 6 runs ago, is now off a mark of 97, so that's £15 lower. Has come second a couple of occasions, off a mark of 112 110. But I don't think that's enough for me wanting to get involved with that. So let's scroll across this, have a look at the course form and distance form. We can see that Stowell has won once at Ascot from 3 runs. We can see that none of our other horses have won at Ascot. Let's have a look at the distance. Red Verdon, 3 wins from 7. Bandinelli, 1 win from 1 at the distance. 2 from 12 for Island Brave, and nothing for Alanak and Raymond Tusk. The going, which will be good to firm today, and maybe firm in places because it's going to dry out throughout the day, I would have thought. Bandinelli, 2 from 2. Red Vernon, 1 from 8. And again, nothing from Alanak, and just the 1 win for Raymond Tusk. So I do like the look of these two, but there's not a lot. They both have never won at the course, never won at the distance, and just Raymond Tusk has won once from 6 on today's ground. So that's not great. I think probably time to start scratching a few of these out now. Stell, I'm going to scratch out. A couple of negatives anyway, especially with the weight, and not in the greatest. Not got the greatest stats for the course, although the data is slightly limited. Red Verdon, 3 wins from 7 at the distance, and it has won, albeit only the once at the course, so I will leave that one. Cleveland, no information available at all. No course runs, distance runs, going runs. I will leave that, just put another question mark. Alanak, again, not from 4 course, not from 2 at the distance, nor from 2 on the going, but it has got an awful lot of good things going for it, so I will leave that for the moment. Raymond Tusk is the same. Bandinelli comes out quite well actually, 2 from 2 on the going and 1 from 1 on the distance, so I will leave that one in. So I've got 5 at the moment: Red Verdon, Cleveland, Alanak, Raymond Tusk and Bandinelli. So I'm going to scroll across now to the trainer and jockey form. And we can see for Red Verdon, Ed Dunlop, 3 wins from 26 in the last 14 days. Let me just go back to this key data here. Trainer form. What I would say to you here is this key here for the trainer, column X. This is a figure calculated on its previous runs, and what this says here is for Ed Dunlop, 50% of his runners over the last 14 days have run to form. So although Ed Dunlop has only had 3 wins from 26, that's 12% strike rate. Of those 26 runners, 50% of those, so 13 of those, have run to expected levels. Okay, so you are ideally looking for a high figure, but 50% is not too bad at all. But let's quickly go back. So Red Vernon, Ed Dunlop. Scroll across a little bit more. 3 wins from 26. I will scroll. I'm going to scroll Red Vernon out now. Cleveland, AP O'Brien, 2 winners from 23. I will leave that for the time being. Alanak, which is Andrew Balding, 7 wins from 53, a 13% strike rate. And Raymond Tusk, 4 wins from 15, 27% strike rate, which is obviously very good. Bandinelli with Charlie Appleby, 7 wins from 27, a 26% strike rate. Jockey, of course, most jockeys ride for the same trainer, so they can be around the same sort of figures. William Buick, 26%. David Probert, poor, just 1 win from 49. Okay. Raymond Tusk, Martin Harley, 2 wins from 14. Bandinelli, we've gone through Bandinelli, was one I missed. Ryan Moore, 4 wins from 22. Okay, so I'm going to see now if I can pinpoint 2 or 3 runners. I'm down to 4 at the moment, so I'm going to have another delve deep. Looking at Cleveland, 1 last time out, however no course and distance form. Top on the OFS, although it is a low score. 3rd for a figure of 31, but it is quite low. Okay, we're going to leave Cleveland in. Alanak, I do like Alanak, but it is 700 and 605. I'm going to dismiss Alanak at this moment. Raymond Tusk. Just bear with me while I just okay, Bandinelli. Okay, I think I'm happy with the 3 that I've got on my shortlist at the moment, which are Cleveland, Raymond Tusk, Bandinelli. So what I'm going to do now is my last port of call. I'm just going to make a note. My last port of call, personally, is always these 2 columns here, columns A, B and AC. Now, the forecast column is the price that the horse was available at when the ratings were collated. So the ratings were collated around 7 p.m. on Monday evening. and at the time this was the price of those horses. Okay, so we can see that Stowell was available around 5 to 1. Okay, our odds is a column that takes into account all the information. We use an in-house algorithm and we come up with a price, and this is what we feel the price of each horse should be. Okay, so we can see that Bandinelli, our odds suggest that this horse should be 9.3, which works out just over 8 to 1, just bigger than 8 to 1. Okay, remember these are decimals. Okay, so our odds suggest this horse should be around 8 to 1 or bigger to offer value. Now we can see that at 7 o'clock last night, Bandinelli was available at 10 to 1, so about a point bigger. So at that stage, Bandinelli would have been offering us value. So I'm going to make a note of these two columns. Cleveland was available at forecast price was 11 to 4. Raymond Tusk was available at a whopping 25 to 1, and Bandinelli was available at 10 to 1. Now our odds suggest that Cleveland should be 8 to 1. There is nowhere near that, nowhere near offering value. Raymond Tusk, our odds suggest this should be 4 to 1. And of course there was a massive 25 to 1 available. And Bandinelli, our odds suggest that this should be around 8 to 1. So again, that was offering value. So now we go over to Odds Checker and see what the current prices are. And it's the 610 at Ascot. Let's pop over to Odds Checker. 610 at Ascot. Now I've done this completely live. There may be some non-runners, something I may not be completely aware of, but let's have a look. So we can see that Cleveland is the hot favourite, and I can understand that, but for me there's a few question marks because there's not an awful lot of information available on Cleveland. So Cleveland is available at 2 to 1. Now remember, there's been money for this horse, okay, because the odds last night at 7 p.m. were 11 to 4. So there's been money. The horse is now available at 2 to 1. It's been backed. That could well be a good thing, but of course our odds suggest that this value on this horse is nowhere near. Our odds suggest that for us to consider this as a bet, we need to be getting odds of 8 to 1. So we're going to scrap that one out. My members will tell you that I preach about value. The only way you will win long term betting on horse racing is by finding value and getting that edge on the bookmaker. Okay, so that is always key. Raymond Tusk is available at a whopping 40 to 1. Bandinelli is available at, I can't see it. Oh, there it is, 14 to 1. Okay, so we've scrubbed Cleveland because it's not offering us value, and we're left with two horses, Raymond Tusk and Bandinelli. So a recap. Raymond Tusk opened up last night available at 25 to 1. The horse has drifted quite alarmingly, I would suggest, out to 40 to 1. And let's remember, our odds suggest for this horse to be offering value, we're requiring 4 to 1. Okay, so yes, this horse is offering us massive value looking at the stats on our spreadsheet, but it is of course a negative that this horse has opened up big and it has drifted since last night as well. Of course you can argue on the other side, yeah, but this is massive value, and it is. Okay, looking at the stats on our data, this is massive value. We can't ignore that this price is like 10 times bigger than what we expect this horse to be. So it's got to be a bet, but it will be at very small stakes because the horses continue to drift. Okay. Bandinelli on Monday evening. It's Tuesday today, isn't it? Yes, Monday evening. I'm not sure if I said Tuesday evening before, but last night the odds for Bandinelli were 10 to 1. And we can see that Bandinelli is now available at 14 to 1 with a number of firms. So again, this horse has drifted, which is a concern, but it hasn't drifted as obviously as badly as Raymond Tusk. And let's remember, if we go back to the spreadsheet, that Bandinelli, our odds suggest this needs to be 8-1 to offer value, and it is now 14-1. So again, I will be backing that horse each way. I will be looking for a firm that has got a number of extra places. Offers, we could see that they're all going each way terms first 5. There may well be some bookmakers that are offering slightly better terms than that, maybe 6 or 7 places, so keep an eye out for that. So, excuse me, for the 610 at Ascot, very small each way bets will be advised by me. Well, this is what I shall be backing. A little bit of my kids' inheritance, 25p each way maybe, only joking of course. But small each way bets on Raymond Tusk at 40-1 and Bandinelli at 14-1. And let's see how we go with those. Okay, I'm going to quickly go through another race very, very quickly because I don't want this video to last too long. Okay, so I'm going to probably keep quiet. And what is the biggest race of the day? Well, there's a couple, isn't there? There's the St James's. So we have a look at the St James's or the King's Stand. We'll go for the King's Stand, the 340. So I'm probably going to keep a little bit quiet on this one because I'm going to rattle through this. And let's see if we can find a bit more each way value. Okay. I'm still here, don't worry. Just making a few notes of a few horses. Of course, what we're doing here is trying to build up a bit of a picture by using all the data, okay? You can have data overload, and I do know there's other services out there that will give you more information, in all honesty, but I think you can have data overload in the fact that you could make an argument for every single horse in every single race, okay? What we try and do here is try and keep the ratings with the best information possible, but not so much as if that makes sense. We try and stick to the main criteria and make those criteria the main points that the very strongest that they can be. So I'm just going through this very, very quickly. And what I'm doing is what I've done before. I'm just doing this very, very quickly. Okay, I will start, and I've got 5 at the moment, and okay. Okay, nature's, where's nature strip? Animation there. Okay, and winter power. Okay, let's have a look at the course stats, distance stats. St Lawrence, Golden, Pal, Nature Strip. Winter Power. Winter Power. And let's have a look at, just going back to looking at this trainer column. Golden Pal. Secret. Sorry, St. Lawrence. It's marvellous. Excuse me. Hay fever. I've been outside painting actually the last couple of days, and I've been waking up in the morning and my hay fever has been terrible. So okay, so it is marvellous. Okay, let's look at the trainer form. Clive Cox, 18%. St. Lawrence, Roger Varian. Okay. Golden Pal, Wesley Ward. Nature Strip, sorry. Okay. And Winter Power. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that one there, and I've now got 4, so I'm going to try and at least get rid of another one. I'm down to Winter Power, Golden Pal, St. Lawrence. It is marvellous. I feel as though I'm going to have a sneezing fit. Please excuse me if that is the case. What we can see from the key historical draw bias is that we want high numbers. Now, unfortunately, Winter Power is drawn stall 1, which is negative, and there's not much chance to overturn that straw bias over 5 furlongs. So unfortunately, although this comes out well on a couple of key data, I'm going to lose Winter Power. Golden Pal has a good draw bias. St. Lawrence again, good draw bias. Tis Marvellous isn't a good draw bias, but probably has got the opportunity to probably is coming out near enough in the middle of the field there, and he can obviously go down to the right side. Adam Kirby can. So I'm not going to dismiss Tis Marvellous. Tis Marvellous is a course and distance winner as well. St. Lawrence hasn't won at the distance. If we look here, we can see that St. Lawrence has had 2 runs at the distance. Trainers in form, though, this is the thing. Okay, well, listen, for this example, I'm going to stick to these 3. Ideally, I'd want to spend an awful lot more time. Like the first race, to be honest, I would be spending an awful lot more time on the race. But this is just an example of how I personally go through the information. And okay, so let's go and have a look at the 340. So I've got Golden Pal. We can see that when the price, so this was favourite, Golden Pal, when the ratings were collated last night, this horse was available at 2 to 1. St. Lawrence was available at a whopping 66 to 1. And Tis Marvellous available at a whopping 33 to 1. Now, I'd suggest that Tis Marvellous should be available at 13 to 2 to offer value. So again, it's offering massive value. Golden Pal, I'd suggest this should be close to 9 to 1 to be offering value, and it's nowhere near that. And St. Lawrence, again, our horse, is saying it should be around 8 to 1, and it's a massive 66 to 1. Ooh. So let's have a look at the 340, and let's see what's been happening in the markets. Okay, so Golden Pal has drifted out slightly to 72. There we go. St. Lawrence is available at 100 to 1. Sorry, I put that in the wrong column there. Tis Marvellous is available at 50 to 1. So very similar to our 610 race. I'm going to have to dismiss Golden Pal straight away. Listen, this horse may well go on to win, like Cleveland in the 610, but our odds are suggesting there's just absolutely no value there at all. Now, of course, you can argue, well, if the horse wins, it's value. But if you were continually ignoring the value stats, okay, you would lose long term. This is what I'm saying to you. So, okay, you know, Golden Pal is available at 7 to 2. From 2 to 1, has drifted slightly, but our odds suggesting this should be 9 to 1. Okay, so it's offering no value whatsoever, not even close. And it could go and win today. This is what I'm saying to you. But if you continually back these horses, okay, you would not have enough winners to get that edge over the bookmaker at those sort of prices. This is what I'm saying to you. Okay, so don't say, oh, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Your stats are rubbish. You know, we've got a field here of 18 runners that I've quickly, for example's sake, narrowed down to 5, then narrowed down to 4, then narrowed down to 3. I'm dismissing Golden Pal because it's too short of odds, so we're going to go with 2. Doesn't mean that, you know, so it's already on the short list. Okay, so our odds, our data is saying that this horse, you know, has got a very strong chance. What I'm saying to you is, I'm not backing it because it's not offering value. In the long term, you need to continue to look for value, get that edge over the bookmaker. So although I'm dismissing this, our odds and our data is suggesting that this is a good thing. Okay, so people get confused between the two. Yes, this has made the short list. No, we're not backing it because it's not offering value. Not to say it will not win, and if it wins, then that's a good thing, I suppose, concerning the ratings and the data, because it is highlighting that this is a good thing. I won't be backing it personally because it's not value. St. Lawrence opened up last night 66 to 1, has drifted out to 100 to 1. Tis Marvellous opened at 33 to 1, has drifted out to 50 to 1. Remember, this is a course and distance winner, Tis Marvellous, okay? Both are offering massive value according to our odds suggestions, okay? So I will be backing both of these horses again at very small each way stakes. Because both horses come out well on the ratings. We build up a picture. We've got a short list. Most importantly, they're offering massive value. Ideally for me, these will be very small stakes. Ideally, what I'm looking for on a personal note is I scroll through a big field race like this with 16, 18 runners. I narrow that field down to 4 or 5 runners, and then I look for value, and then I take the horses that are offering value. But ideally at that final stage, I'm looking for a horse that is offering value but has held this price overnight, or even better, there's been a little bit of money for that horse, okay, but it's still offering us value. So ideally I'm looking for a horse that, let's say our odds suggest this horse should be around 10 to 1 to offer us value, to get us interested, to get us excited. The horse opened up at 12 or 14 to 1 the night before racing, and the horse is now 10 or 12 to 1. There's been a little bit of money for that horse, but it's still offering us value. So ideally, you know, you do want to see a little bit of money for your horse, or it's at least held the price, but it's still offering you the value. With the 4 horses that we're backing today, there will be very, very small stakes because they've opened up the evening before racing, offering us really big value, but they continue to drift. So there's no support in the market, which obviously is usually a poor sign. So to recap, the 340 at Ascot, St Lawrence 100 to 1, Tis Marvellous at 50 to 1, in the 610 Raymond Tusk at 40 to 1, and Bandinelli at 14 to 1. That's it from me today. I've droned on long enough and give you the Tuesday ramblings, as it were. Please let me know how you're getting on via email, or if you want to comment on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow us, become a subscriber. It's completely free, and what will happen then is you'll be alerted to when we upload some new videos, so you can view them straight away. You don't miss them. Comment, share, whatever you want to do. Let's build this fan base up, and let's get more people beating the bookmakers. Okay, looking for that edge on the bookmaker, looking for that value. Whatever you're on today, the very, very best of luck. But remember, enjoy your race and only bet what you can afford to lose. Don't forget those betting banks always in use. Okay, don't chase your losses. Everybody has upturns, everybody has downturns. That includes professional punters and tipsters. Okay, it's that long-term profit that we're looking for. That long-term is the key, the professionalism and the patience. Okay, I'll speak to you very, very soon. Take care.